king of?
Pop.
This environment in here is?
Toxic. Oh, shit.
When you go to the pool, little kids go in the blank end.
Shallow. Damn.
People think Imani is
A player. Pimp.
Homosexual.
financial status.
Broke.
Yo, dog.
Joe Budden's podcast and all the co-hosts on and off mic have been on one lately. I swear I didn't just click on a Friday Patreon and spend the first hour and 15 minutes watching these dudes play Taboo. No way that really happened. And as irritated as I wanted to be, listen, I must admit I was tuned in. I was entertained. I really was. Toward the end, they tried to explain it away as a little team-building, chemistry-stacking activity or whatever. And honestly, I'll give them that. But those boys were cheating. All of them. Mainly Joe's team. Mainly Joe and Mel. But let's be serious. Cheating was the theme. They need a pre-game rules meeting before jumping into stuff like that. Ice was tripping over clues. Imani was lost. Flip was in full flip mode. And Mark kept calling it out to the point where it was getting ridiculous. Somebody might want to check the energy between Mark and Flip, because I don't think everything they do is just content over everything. Mark keeps poking at Flip's intelligence, and Flip's response is basically, I'm gonna fight this dude. When they got into that first argument, and Flip called Mark's moves sucker behavior, and then Mark escalated, I really thought it was just content, but now it's lingering. And lingering to the point where they might swing if the crew ever leaves them in a room alone. I'm not joking. I don't even know who wins that matchup, because as much as I want to put stock in Flip, everybody keeps talking about his workouts from his show, and is not looking elite. He might not have the stamina to hang with Mark, but that's for another day. I wasn't mad at the actual game, though. Mark was as good as I expected. Ish surprised me. He was way sharper than I gave him credit for. But before all of that started, and this is really what the video was supposed to be about, Joe asked the room if there were any narratives they wanted to create. Shout out to Dub. I saw him on Patreon saying he was going to talk about it on Dub Radio. Go tap into that. I feel the same way, because clearly they're trying to get us, the viewers, to buy into these narratives to stay invested in the show. But here's the twist. The audience already sees what's happening. Joe has definitely been scrolling those Patreon comments. I saw one today that nailed it perfectly. They said, I used to watch JBP straight through without skipping. I would stop what I was doing to watch it all the way. Now, if I start at 7 a.m., I'll look up and I'm still watching at 1 p.m. and won't finish until 5 p.m. People are starting to lose interest. Now, let me say this again. I actually liked the game idea. Credit to Mark for pitching it in spaces. I don't mind the games at all. A lot of people do because it feels like time wasting for money wasting. But from my angle, at least they're building some chemistry. At minimum, they look like actual friends, and we get to see them in a natural friend setting because honestly, folks would pay to watch them run a whole Monopoly session. A full episode of straight Monopoly, not as a Patreon drop, would genuinely pull interest. The way I approached it was more like, okay, cool, let's see how they operate together. Because the thing about a game is you get different modes of a person in real time. Pressure hits. We see how they move when things go well. We see how they move when things go bad. We learn what kind of teammate they are. Do they want others to shine, or are they secretly hoping the whole room crashes? A single game shows all of that. So I don't mind the games at all. It's just that y'all need to give a heads up if half the episode or the whole episode is going to be gameplay. If people aren't into it, they're going to get irritated and you'll lose more viewers. Facts. And hopefully y'all rotate the type of games. Hopefully everybody is briefed, pause, on how the game works so they can prep and not look confused. Because like you said mid-episode, Joe, y'all are still entertainers at the end of the day. If you're going to talk over everyone, let them know they can talk over you too. Because in their mind, they're still playing by the rules of the game. In your mind, it's still podcast mode and mind games. And I'm not mad at either perspective, but I'll say this about narratives, since y'all are now talking about narratives you want to run this year. If you're going to push narratives, then commit to the narratives. Ice absolutely needs a private conversation, Because just like I said in the last vid, he's the one who implied Joe was gay and what he would do if he was. Joe flipped it on him, and instead of laughing, Ice took it personally. Nobody should be that bothered by someone joking about sexuality. I don't care how you interpret it. But again, if the narratives are going to exist, good or bad, then follow through. And for those saying they want to promote positive narratives, aka Ice and Ish, you can't laugh at the negative ones aimed at everyone else. You can't call chicken nugget and then pretend your hands are clean. And it's wild that Ish is one of the main ones saying that, considering two things. When they were playing the game, he hinted at what the work environment is like, and the whole room instantly said toxic. That's a whole different topic. And even crazier, if I'm Imani, I'm looking around like, what is dude on? The narrative about him was that he's gay, and they were confused until Ish dropped the next word, and I said, wow, financially, wow. But you're the one preaching positive narratives, right? Anyway, I'm not even trying to fry Ish, because he takes narrative jokes better than almost everyone up there. So again, if we're going to push narratives, or if the audience is going to craft narratives on our side, either embrace them or stop discussing them. I don't want to hear anything from Ice. I don't want to hear anything from Ish. I don't want to hear anything slick from Parks about how what we say doesn't matter or doesn't affect anything. Y'all wouldn't know any narratives existed unless y'all were watching them. Just remember that. And with all that said, I'm not mad at the episode, just keeping things clear. If you rocked with the video, hit like, subscribe if you haven't. If you have, you already know how we move. There's definitely a Patreon video up. I saw Ian interviewed with EYL breaking down Netflix, Spotify, and iHeart deals, and you can connect the dots. I heard a few things that didn't sit right with me, and I had to speak on it regarding Ian, Joe's mindset, and the future business moves around the JBP. Check Patreon if you want to hear that breakdown. Another video dropping today. See y'all in